Hi guys, yay! So I've fired up this this channel to accompany the project system and to do a little bit of work with other content creators and stuff out there. And this is a channel dedicated to my projects that I'm going to be, keeping up to date in the project system. I want to create some little videos and things like that and spend some time with you folk. And I don't want to pollute the On Tabletop channel in the process of it. So yeah, I've got this little dedicated space. So if you're looking at this and you want to get the updates and the little notifications, you can subscribe to this channel independently. And as I upload little bits and pieces like this, yeah, you'll get updates. I am a hobby butterfly. I have lots of projects that I want to have going simultaneously. I have given up on the idea of trying to finish one thing at a time. There's no point. My mind can't do it. So I want to have the flexibility to be able to jump from project to project, keep them all up to date in the project system. And anytime I put up a video, I'll put a link in to the appropriate project that I'm talking about. So you can, if you've never seen the project, you can go back and look it over and see what has been done to that stage. So this project that I'm firing up, as some of you will know, I'm a fan of fantasy armies. Love fantasy armies. However, I'm quite rules agnostic. For me, fantasy armies are all about the aesthetic. So I'm not a massive clinger to any particular rule set. So what I like to do is I like to create rules agnostic fantasy armies, and I really love picking up old armies and trying to breathe new life into them by rebasing them and restructuring them and just making them look pretty. A couple of examples that I've done to date. This is an elf army that I have. What you can see there on the one side is the old traditional GW square base with the green, that classic green, and then on the other side is the rebasing and kind of the refactoring that I was doing to that army. Same with the dragon. I had a dragon. I just worked on doing some repairs and things like that to it. I like to pick up armies that are not in a particularly good state, if I'm honest, because then I really see the difference whenever I actually complete them. So this is me working through rebasing a lot of these guys. I like putting them on the larger 32 mil base. And the reason for that is I love the canvas of a base. I love the aesthetic of a round base. Not going to get into an argument over round versus square, but I just happen to love the aesthetic of a round base, and I like the extra canvas space on a 32 mil base. So this is how that looks once it's kind of all put together. That's how that army turned out. Now, there's always little bits and pieces that you can continue to do. So that army may well make an appearance in some of these vlogs at some point as I go back and do some little bits extra here and there. But, as a really nice fantasy army, I love it. And it is one of my favorites. It's not the only one I've done. I've also done Chaos and Dwarves. This is an example of an old Chaos army that I picked up. And then I went ahead and did the rebasing. In this instance, I was playing with a lot of the Hearst Arts blocks and casting. I had a few that left over from previous projects that I had casted up in Resin. So once again, moved them onto kind of round bases, went for a very different style of the autumn leaves and the likes. And, even though the army is very basically painted, I find that once you do something cool to the basing, heck, it just makes a massive difference in my view. So this army doesn't have a name yet. The Splinter Army. Yes, it can mean only one thing. I have a little old army here that is, in fact, a little Ratman, a little Skaven army. So these guys, once again, all on their little square bases. I don't know if we can see. I might have to adjust the camera angles and get the cameras down a bit closer. But this is an army that I have picked up that is in need of some love and attention. And I reckon this little army will be lovely once I've worked through it and got it rebased. So to kick that off, what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the basing options, and I have come across a basing option that I want to share with you guys that I'm particularly enamored about. So I've went down this route. So over on eBay, I have found this little seller here who is doing these kind of lava bases. Okay, now you can see them all there unpainted, but this chap also does them painted as well. So there's 32 millimeter painted resin bases. Let's get a look at them till we see. Check that out. Isn't that nice? Now, as many of you'll know, I'm not much of a painter. I'm one of these hobbyists that I have a few limitations. Okay, attention span being one of them. I have a shake. I'm not great at painting, but I want to be creative as well. You know, I want to enjoy hobby. I want to do cool stuff, but I just kind of want to focus in on the bits that I actually like. So I'm a big proponent of, if there are aspects of this hobby that you don't enjoy and you can find ways of getting around it, do it. Just do it. Enjoy the bits that you love. That's what I do. So in this case, what I did was we reached out to this chap and I said, love the bases. However, I'm wondering if you could do me a kind of like a glowy slime kind of a thing, where it's all kind of a glowy green instead of this beautiful lava effect. And the chap got back to me and said, sure thing, let's give it a go. Let's give it a go. So I actually have some that I bought from him. So let me move these over. And here are the bases in their lovely green. Let me just move the lights a little bit so as it's just not so... I wonder if that would be better. Nah, we'll keep that on. We'll keep that on. Let it all settle down a little bit. There. So these are examples of the basing that he actually sent through. So I've picked up enough bases to, I'm hoping, have a really good stab at rebasing this army. But I don't want to just finish at that. So the idea will be to try and prize these little guys off each of them, touch up any little problems that I have with them. And I even did a couple. Look, where do you see the difference? Okay. So there are my little RATMEN. I'll cut in a couple of nice close-up pictures of those so you can see. So I just wanted to see how the RATMEN looked on that 32mm base, and I'm really pleased. I am really, really pleased. I think it's going to bring this little army to life. You know, the RATMEN and all the kind of glowy greens and things. I've even picked up a couple of little extra pieces. This is probably one of my favorite models of all time. This is the Skaven Doom Wheel, which is exactly what you think it is. It's a rat in a wheel going at a full scale of knots to kick ass. So once again, I need to try and get these off the base. This one might actually do that. Let me see. I'm going to break it live on camera here. So, there we go. So I'll salvage some of the little rats and stuff on that. But what I want to do is I want to put these onto these bases here. But I want to have them, I'm going to pin them in some way so they're kind of like doing wheelies and the like. So instead of it just being flat like that, I kind of want it as if it's got a real force of momentum there behind it. So I'll have a little experiment with that. Now, don't want to just leave it at that. So for me, Chaos, kind of Skaven and stuff are all about, these guys are all about the magics and contraptions and glowy, greeny kind of stuff. So what I did was I thought to myself, look, I want to go to town on that and see if I can, you know, if I can lean into that whole kind of greeny kind of object magic kind of thing. You know, the magic is coming from a substance of some sort. So I have picked up some little crystals and things to play with as well. So these ones here, plug for the store. If you go to store.untabletop.com, we actually stock these in there. So these are the little crystals from Green Stuff World. I particularly like these ones because they have that little stalactite kind of shape to them. And I reckon once I have put a few of those onto this, the little crystals and stuff like that coming up and in and out of the base will give that lovely bit of extra texture here and there. And yeah, just give that, just it leans into that green kind of plasma kind of effect again. So I have those. I also, now this is this manufacturer isn't around anymore, unfortunately. This is Base Crafts. This is a really old little box of green crystals. These are a slightly different shade and certainly a very different shape. I've picked them out just to kind of see if I go one way or the other. I think in this instance, I may go the Green Stuff World route, possibly. But we'll see. You know, there's no panic just yet, but I think I'm going to go with these ones over these ones. Might have something else in mind for this, but I just wanted to show you what I had been digging through in my collection to try and find, to elaborate and to take these bases another step forward. Then finally, I got handed this at the studio. So this, let me see if we can get in there so you can see it, is a mushroom set. Oh God, yes, it is a mushroom set. So this is a mushroom set from Spellcrow. Okay. As you can see, this is the first time I'm even getting the chance to crack it open. So let's see what is in here. So, oh wow. Right. There are more mushrooms here than you could shake a stick at. This is, Joe Rogan would be in his element here with me right now, looking through all these shrooms. Look at them. I reckon, just to add that, I wanted an opportunity to have a splash of color that wasn't green. Okay, just here and there, just a real kind of little splash of an alternative color, just to give the so that the army doesn't feel too locked in or too overloaded on the green. And fungi always work for a fun guy. Ugh. Yes, I'm going with the fungi because it gives me an opportunity to play with all sorts of little colors and stuff, including the potential, once again, to have a play with fluorescent paints. So there we have it. That is the objective. That's the opening for this project. I will work on that, and then as I'm doing it, I will be updating the project, which will be linked below. So if you're coming to this from YouTube, remember over at ontabletop.com, I'm kind of managing all of my projects and stuff there. So there'll be a link below to all of my projects, so you can go and see, because I do all kinds of little projects, even smatterings of game design and the likes as well. But it's a great way to try and keep a project all together step by step, so that you can follow along. So it doesn't matter what point you join me in this project that you've discovered, you can always go back and see the steps that led up to it. Right. I need a name. I need a name for this army. Otherwise, it is going to be just known as RATMEN Army. That is something I will have to have a think about. But that wraps it up for this. I will be back soon with this or another project to discuss with you. See you later.